Hey, let's go check out the Way It Was Museum here in Virginia City, Nevada. They got the whole history of the town, the mining, the Comstock lode. They show the mine shafts below the surface. So let's go see what we can discover here and check it out. All right. Typical prospector. There's a looping movie in here that's really long, so I'm not gonna watch it, but it talks about Mark Twain and the Bonanza show. Check out these old postcards on the wall. And here's a blacksmith shop with a giant bellow and a forge, hand blower, anvil, squirrel cage blower. I wonder what that does. Here's some old phones. Look at that crank. For those of you who got iPhones, this was what we used in the past. And then they got some Victorian dolls, and these are kind of cool because they show what the women would have wore the different times. 1861 there, 1865, 1874, fancy one here, 1871, 1875 on that one. 1860, it looks like Scarlet's from Gone with the Wind. 1869. 1863. And then a typical wedding gown in that time, 1883-ish to 1884. A slot machine. This is cool. It's an underground model and an estimated of 800 miles under Virginia City. So this shows you, if you see the big black bar, that's the street, and these are the buildings. And then underneath the town are all these mine shafts. And it's crazy how deep some of these go for the gold and silver, mostly silver. Look how deep they go. The Sutro Tunnel here would bring water. They had to evacuate all the water. If they didn't have a constant pump going, the tunnels would flood. Look at this, 2,100, 2,300 feet below, 2,700 feet below. So it shows you just how vast the tunnels are under this town. The postcards show you some of the conditions you would have worked in. A lot of the workers had to go, they worked 15 minutes on and then 15 minutes off in an ice house because it is very hot down below, that deep below the surface. Here's some more ideas of what they looked like, depictions, I should say. Very unsafe conditions. There were a lot of deaths. Things went wrong. But they got paid very well, so they lived a short life, but they were wealthy men for the time. A typical candle holder, and they'd work under candlelight down there, which is nuts. Now this is a stamper. This would break up all the large rocks connected to a steam conveyor belt, and it would smash the large rocks into smaller pieces that they could work with easier to extract the silver and gold. This is an idea of what it was like in action. Look at these guns. Pocket 41. Ideal for the gambler. Fairly small in size, but plenty of stopping power. Model 3, 45 Colt revolver. Oh, it's a Smith & Wesson Colt. This is a Derringer. These are people that like to cheat with cards back then. They had devices to do it to help them. If they got caught, they usually got shot on the spot or hung. More firearms here. Look how tiny that gun is. That thing is tiny. It's only like 5 inches long. And this big Winchester 1866 yellow boy because of the brass receiver on it. Look at that one. Not much chamber on that. Thumb nose. Holding a Folklore, this poker hand was held by Bill Hickok, and when he was shot in the back of the head by Jack McCall. I don't know if that skull's real, but it's creepy looking. Some fancy guns of inlays there. Case has pipes and different bottles, cigar snipper, coffee grinders, tobacco cutter, cherry pit remover. This is an underground steam engine. It would use to operate hoists. Mines, and it powered air blowers too to bring fresh air. Countertop slot machines. That was nice looking. Cylinder music player. Before records, before CDs even, before all that. And this apparently is a harmonica from France, one of the first one. Predecessor of the accordion is this instrument. So very rare. Coin changer. There's a little pocket harp. Grocery store scale of the time. This is a powder car, so it would carry blasting powder down. And it had all these heavy springs to withstand dangerous jolts, because blasting powder is sensitive stuff. So we wanted to keep it stable. Look at this barbed wire samples. A lot of different styles. Old newspapers from the time. You had to have a hat if you're a fancy lady, and a man wore a hat, of course. This is an old carriage dating back to the 1880s with a fringe top. Looks kind of fancy. There's another motor. is a drawing of below Virginia City, so you get an idea of how deep these mines go. Way more than the town itself, that's for sure. Here's some more drawings. There's a square cut timbers that really changed mining safety. This is a chemical fire extinguisher. And this is all sorts of different old medicine and ointments. Digestive tonics. I'm sure a lot of this is snake oil salesman. It was what they call the scam artists back then. If they slap a label on something, you'd believe it worked back then. Foot care, corn pads, poison, do not drink, eye drops, nasal spray, antiseptic powder, children's cough syrup. I wonder how that tastes. Ugh. More down here, pills, different tablets. None of this stuff was regulated back then either, so you just had to really trust your doctor. And more. They have lots of this stuff on display here. No thanks. And these are all whiskey bottles from the day. Rum bottle, whiskey bottle. During the Prohibition period, they have these medical purpose stickers on the bottles. That way they could skirt around the Prohibition laws. Here's some beer bottles. Reno Brewery, Sierra, Reno, Nevada. And some signage. Old Taylor whiskey. More. Tahoe ginger ale. Cascade ginger ale. Orange dry. Look at all the mineral rocks here. Native gold there. Motherlode, Grass Valley. Native copper. Boron. Turquoise. Cinnabar. Compressed wood. And a couple more. Some quartz there. And some amethyst. Arsenic. That stuff is how they make rat poison. This mine here, the Bonanza ore, produced $30 million. It's the bottom of a diamond drill. Blue stuff, silver, zinc, and lead. High-grade silver ore, gold horn. They would use this instead of a pan to separate the dirt from the gold. Now, some minerals are fluorescent. We got some hurricane lamps here on display. They named them hurricane lamps because they could withstand extreme winds. Look at this desk. Look at the wood on this thing. And if you complain about doing your laundry, here's a way you had to do it before. You put your dirty laundry in there. You move this back and forth and it agitates. Then when you're done, you put it through this hand-turned wringer to wring the the water out, and then put it on a line in your backyard. Not easy work. And this is a dry washer, so if you didn't have water to go through the ore, you could throw it in here and it would shake it. So, and what you get at the bottom would be hopefully some gold or silver. They even got a pump organ here. This is a steam whistle that shrinking alarm for the Great Fire. Yeah, they had 1,300 buildings were destroyed in the Great Virginia City Fire. $10 million loss. Here's an old scale. Now these are furnaces they would use to melt gold and silver and other metals in the ore samples. These got up to 2,000 degrees. There's another one, a little smaller one. Overhead timbering car for Sutro Tunnel. So this is what the inspectors would use to inspect the tunnel safety. Look at this up there. It's like an early motorcycle. It's a foreman car to inspect everything with. Get a close-up for you. And if you ever complain about going to the dentist, don't, because this is what you would have had to deal with in the past. Imagine the pain he would inflict on you. That would be brutal. They had cockfighting back in the day. And this is kind of wild. They used to fight bobcats against dogs. 42 pounds of fight. A bulldog would fight a bobcat. Now, if I'm a guessing man, I would think the bobcat would win that one. But I have no idea. Let's see, cats are used to fight. Sometimes the cats would escape and run through the audience. Don't want to run into him anywhere. Rattlesnake. Or a scorpion. This is a nitric acid container used for assessing and separating silver from gold. Nitric. What does it say here? Timber and supply car. For building the supports. There's a stove. Some old advertising things. Olive oil. chocolate, smoke and chew, cigars. There's a boarding house safe, typical safe for the time. The people that had rooms could use a smaller top, and the bottom part was used by the business owner. And by today's standards, not secure much at all. But back then it was. And outside, as you can see, it's snowing. A few more things here. Some timber wagon. Steam engine. Donkey. Torture for the donkey. He'd have to walk in circles for hours at a time. And that's a wind tunnel to bring fresh air into the tunnels. And here's a saw that would make cut the square set timbers to bring down below to support the mine shaft walls from caving in. And this is out front here, a horse and a green carriage. For a tiny little museum, this place is pretty packed full of stuff. Well, what'd you guys think of that? That was interesting. The history of Virginia City here in Nevada. The mines below us are insane. How far they go down? 2,700 feet. Can you believe that? So thanks for coming along with me. If you like what I'm doing, you know what to do. Hit the bell notification. Hit that subscribe button below. And I'll see you on my next video. All right.